Hello, channel children. Today's topic is a little depressing, as you can see up there, or down there, or wherever. We're going to be talking about breakups. And most importantly, we're going to be discussing the high school aspect of dating and breaking up. I'm not going to mention his name for the sake of privacy and just because I honestly don't care enough to bother. Also, I don't want people getting upset, so I'm not gonna, if there are other people involved, I'm not naming anybody. If you know me personally, you know who my ex is. Do not comment his name down below because I respect his privacy. And let's just get into it. So last October or September, I think, a relationship of mine that was a year and a half terminated. He broke up with me, but by the end of it, it was pretty mutual. Not gonna lie, it just wasn't working out, but I was still holding on to something that I thought could happen and that I really wanted to hold on to and mend because I was so hung up on this idea that we're supposed to be together. And the biggest tip I have when you're going through a breakup is please don't do that. And don't text him or her, don't call him or her, don't go the desperate way. But just don't think that you're gonna get back together. If it's a breakup, it's a breakup. It was meant to be a breakup. Don't try and change that because honestly, that's not healthy for you or the other person. My personal experience, it spiraled from the breakup to a bunch of other different events in my life. I stopped having an appetite for a couple weeks, and then I started losing weight hardcore. I started having anorexic tendencies again. I spiraled into a sort of a situational depression that was partially the reason I stopped going out and going and doing YouTube. And I felt really alone because I thought that since we were broken up, nobody would ever want to be with me again, and I cut off my friends. I just went like depressed and it was awful. And the one main thing that I want you, if you're watching this and going through a breakup, to do is don't do what I did. Honestly, it's so hard when you're feeling depressed to just get up and go do things, but like it's necessary because my ex and I, back when we were together, we spent a fair amount of time together, and I kind of stopped hanging out with most of my friends. And so when we broke up, I had nobody other than my mom and my family, and I felt even more depressed. I just stopped eating. I stopped eating. I lost 25 pounds. I just didn't care for myself enough to do anything. I was just too depressed to get out of bed, and I didn't want to leave, and I hated it, and I hated myself, and I hated everyone else, and I hated him most off because I thought it was all his fault. Like, he broke up with me, how could he do that? I blamed him such a long time, and I didn't talk about him, I didn't talk to him, I didn't talk to anyone, and I thought that I'd respect his privacy, wouldn't mention anything about our breakup to people because I decided that I was going to be like the mature person. I didn't talk about it. The reason I'm talking about it now is because y'all don't know who he is. So when I started getting back into socializing, I hung out with a mutual friend of ours, and she told me that he had disclosed some details about our relationship that I wasn't really comfortable with coming out and having people know about and talk about and judge me on. We didn't have like a worded agreement that we wouldn't talk about those things, but I just thought the decency, the common sense would kick in and he just wouldn't talk about those things, but no. Sadly enough, those did not kick in for him. And I think he was just trying to prove to himself and his friends like, oh, my ego's great, I don't need her, like she was awful and she was horrible. And it's like, yeah, but we were still together for a year and a half. How could I have been that bad? So that was when I decided to start talking crap about him also. Not majorly, just kind of whenever I hang out with friends. Back to my story, he just like, you know, wanted to say that I was bad at certain things and just certain things didn't work in our relationship. So I decided to also talk crap and, you know, not take the mature way out. And that is another thing I regret. Tip number, 2, 3, I don't know, when you break up with someone, make an agreement not to talk stuff about each other unless it's like the one time to your friend and you just need to get it out, because I understand I had to get it out at one point. I didn't do it for 6 months, and then here he was saying these things and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get it out, I'm gonna do all this and this and this, and so I did, and I talked about him and it did make me feel better. but it should happen like right at the beginning of when you just break up, you know, like you should just talk, get it out, get it over with, done, case closed, move on. Another tip, delete all pictures right away. Delete all pictures right away, unfollow, unfriend, block, do what you have to. Try your best to avoid them. I actually dropped out of AP Psychology to avoid my ex because I just didn't want to have to see him. Thankfully, it worked for me. You know, AP classes are hard to drop, but I had a decent reason because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to focus and do my best with him there. So I dropped it. Next year I'm going to take it to college, so I'm fine. Like, I didn't deprive myself of psychology or anything, but still, do what you have to do to avoid the person so that you don't have to see them. You don't have to remember the good memories. You don't have to remember the bad memories. Another thing is, do not regret a single thing you've done together, whether it's sexually, it happens, okay? Physically, mentally, emotionally, memories, because those are still good things. You know, you chose to do those things when you were together. You chose to hang out, make out, other things, have fun, be friends, be like boyfriend, girlfriend, or girlfriend, whatever. Like, you chose that, and you made the right choice at the time because clearly it worked, you know? Now it's gone and it doesn't work anymore, and you need to let that go, and you just have to move past it. And it took me too damn long. It took me way too damn long to move past mine. But another thing I regret is I tweeted that he looked like a marshmallow at prom, and I just thought it was kind of funny because he wore a white tux, and that was literally it. That was the only intention I had, was to like be a little petty. And then I made a post because I'm in a new relationship now with someone who makes me exponentially happier, like over here levels of happy, and everyone else can tell. So like, it's just ginormous difference. I made a post on my Facebook saying, it's funny how someone can make you happier in a year than another someone, it's funny how someone can make you happier in a day than another someone did in a year and a half. And a bunch of his friends got salty, and his friend even commented like, no, chill. And I didn't intend for it to sound bitchy. I just said it and I didn't think about it, because when my current boyfriend texted me, I just felt like all these feelings, and I felt so much happiness and giddiness and like infatuation, and I never felt that with my ex at the beginning of at least a relationship. It wasn't ever like this. And so I just decided to make a post because it's my personal Facebook. I didn't think that any of his friends were there or whatever. So basically, I didn't really realize his friends were still some of his friends were still friends with me, and I didn't realize he was friends with me still. So it wasn't intended to hurt him. It was just comparing, you know, feelings from an old relationship to a new one. Literally, just how much happier I am now is ridiculous. Like, if you know me, you can tell how like glowy and giddy I am all the time, and it's a little ridiculous. Like, it's out there. So I decided to message him before it started getting dramatic, and I went, heyo, no hard feelings. Please, like, don't take it personally. I didn't intend to hurt your feelings. I literally just wanted to express how happy I was, and I'm sorry if I did hurt you. And then he messaged me back. We had a conversation about it. I said sorry. He said that's fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. He said goodbye, and then I said see you around, and it was fine. And I got my closure, and this is why I'm making the video today, is because I got my closure. I thought I was gonna get my closure when we returned our stuff, and I burned all the pictures, and I destroyed, you know, the petty ex things I did. Okay, but no, the closure happened when I let go of my anger and bitterness for him, and I just let go, and now I don't give a single F in the world about him or what he does. He can be happy, he can be sad, he can be angry, he can hate me, he can be salty about the post, he can be salty about the marshmallow tweet. I explained myself. I did it, you know, I messaged him, I was the bigger person. It's more than he deserves, honestly. The message, that was too nice. That was way more than he deserves. After what he also said about me and didn't say anything for, like, he thinks I'm not gonna find out. Anywho, I got my closure, and it was the best feeling in the world. I am finally completely, like, I've been over him, but I'm just completely done with him now. There's no reason for us to ever see each other again, to ever speak again, to ever have any content again, to ever have any contact again. And that, my friends, is the place you should want to reach, is when you are just so happy on your own or with a new person. You don't need the ex anymore. They don't even cross your mind. At first, I wanted to talk crap. You know, I did that. I did all of that. I went through the phases, but now I am in the no give a F land, and I am happy. I wish all of that for all of you going through a breakup, if you are, and I wish that for everyone. Like, this is the best feeling. I have to date my ex and experience that relationship and figure out what I didn't want in a person and what I did want in a person, and figure out what I did to mess up the relationship with my ex so that it wouldn't carry on to my new relationship. So take all of your exes with a grain of salt and take them as a lesson, because that's exactly what they are. The bitterness, the anger of mine is gone, and that is the thing I want you to feel after this video. Like, did you feel happiness right now after our little chat, like our friendship chat? Our children of my children come here, gather around. Let me just hug you. If you're going through a breakup right now, oh my god, it gets better. Holy god, it gets so much better. If you want, you can DM me on Twitter, Instagram, or on here. You can message me, you can email me. I will help you, okay? And I wish you all happiness, and I wish you all the getting over the breakup that you all deserve, because nobody should be stuck in the past with an ex that no longer cares for them. Hope you all enjoyed. Self-promotion right here, a little early, just bread and indie, order the Russian on everything. It'll just be edited in here. Children of my channel, I like that a lot. I hope you all have a great day, and if you're going through a breakup, please message me for God's sake so I can be your friend. Enjoy. Peace out, Girl Scout. Bye. I love you all very, very much. I'll be your boyfriend, okay? If you're going through a breakup, I'll be your boyfriend.